Hi everybody. One of the things I thought I'd do today is almost freeform a little bit and tell you about some early experiences that I had, things that drive my philosophies, and to the degree that you find them interesting, I'll share them with you in case there's some elements of philosophy or developing a philosophy that helps you or cause you to pause or think and even disagree if you'd like. But ideally, there's something in the story that shows why I think what I think and how I develop these philosophies. So with that as an introduction, I early on in one of my videos, I mentioned that I'm different. You know, I have been in banking for over 35 years, and I've never been a banker. And so how can that happen? How can I go from answering the telephone literally to then the executive offices and now board tables? How does it work, or boardrooms, how does that work that I can never be a banker and yet I've been in all levels of roles in banks? And I think that when I say that I'm not a banker, it's because I tend to just look at things a little bit differently. And fortunately, I was able to have bosses who were able to let me be myself. And the way I looked at the job was a business that was built on people, by people, for people. So I looked at things that the bank does for customers and the relationship with their money. And by the way, this is not a commercial or an advertisement, but I really looked at it and said, we have products and services that we want to offer to customers and want to keep those customers as much as possible. And if we take care of them, we'll be able to do that. Now, the best way to take care of customers is to take care of the people that work there. And when I was beginning, and I was looking at things policies that were written, maybe incentive plans or things that were happening. And sometimes I thought I could actually, that they didn't really reflect reality, that I thought I could actually contribute and do those things better. So when I looked at those things, I thought, well, how do I approach the business from that angle? As opposed to, I think what people think of when I say I'm a banker, right? They think of you approach it from the money angle. So how do you think about money? How do you count money? And how do you measure monetary success? So in my mind, I was different. I was looking at the business differently. And what that meant was that when I looked at different things, I had a drive to then become a policymaker, because I saw a lot of policies were written for various reasons. And certainly, I have to tell you, in almost every room I was in, there was smarter people than me in that room. But I found out as I went through that if I wanted to grow my career, I wanted to differentiate who I am. How do I join an organization of people that are bright, articulate, educated, and they certainly know a lot more about finance than I do? And how can I make a relevant contribution? And how can I be different and stand out? So the objective was to get into a role where I could help define policies that I thought would take care of employees so that they can take care of customers. When I say take care of, I mean certainly inform them of the things that we need them to do so that they can better take care of customers. But it also would reflect listening. So that was my objective. Now, how did I do that and differentiate it? Early in my career, I had a chance to take on a new role. And I remember thinking about my boss and thinking, if I was them, who would I hire and what would I need them to do? So I went into the boss interview and I said, I'm here to solve your biggest problem. You tell me what your biggest problem is, and I'm here to solve it. Give me your biggest challenge and I'll make it happen. Because I thought, if I'm hiring somebody down the road in this person's role, will I be able to, what will I need? What will I need? So call it emotional intelligence or empathy or whatever, but that awareness really helped me to stand out in the interview. And then when the question came about, well, how will you do this? Then I was able to think about it through the eyes of the employees, always with the objective of making customers' lives better in the background. So again, the idea was standing out and being different. And I found out that not a lot of people approach interviews that way. A lot of people approach interviews from the standpoint of saying, here's my experience and here's my education, here's how smart I am, and here's why you can project that into the future and say that I'll do a good job. And a lot of times that certainly works. But to differentiate oneself, you have to be different. And I looked at the world differently. So now, why does this matter and why do I stop to share this with you? Is that if you're looking at your life and looking at your life journey, think about the special sauce that you add to whatever you're doing. What are the things that your capabilities that are just different and unique about you? And trust me, there are things that are different and unique about you. And if you can think of those things and bring them to bear on wherever you want to take yourself or wherever you want to take your journey, you'll be massively successful, because you'll find that a lot of people don't do things the way you do. In fact, I just used the word unique, which could be interpreted as saying nobody does the things the way that you would do them. And by the way, that's both good and bad, but let's talk about it in the positive sense. Nobody does it in those ways. And as you focus on that differentiation, always with an objective in mind of really who you're serving, and if you're true to who you're serving, add that differentiation, you can then begin to have impact on their lives. And in my case, it was impact by growing in my role, growing in my influence. I think a lot of people thought growing in roles meant growing their control or their power, whereas I looked at it was growing my influence and my ability to drive a better outcome, again, for employees that then we're able to help our customers better. Now, one last thing. Next time or soon, I'm going to share with you my most prized possession. Obviously, my family and my lovely wife and my children are not a possession, but one of my most prized possessions is something that came out of this philosophy of service and service to the front line, and that was a going away present from the people at the organization I worked with in the United States when I went to London, and they gave me a stunning present. In fact, I'm going to stop the video, I'm going to go get it, and I'll show it to you right now because there's no better time than right now. So hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, thanks for waiting. I know it was only a second to you, but it was a few minutes for me. I have my most prized possession right here. And what this is a going away present to me from over 1,500 colleagues. Now, my team when I left was about 17,000 people, so they all couldn't say something. Although I do have another book of emails. But the purpose of this is to say they took the time to write to me and to say goodbye. In my career, I was hopefully sharing love, certainly compassion, and certainly appreciation for the job that they did. I love the fact that they came to work every day to help our customers, and somehow I was able to make connections with these people. This sounds almost bragging to me, and so I'm not quite totally comfortable. My point is to be absolute gratitude, have absolute gratitude at the time and effort that these individuals took to write to me and saying goodbye, personal messages. That means so much to me. And when I moved to London and I was busy and I was trying to fit in and trying to figure out what I needed to do, I would open this book when my darkest times and try to say, okay, so what's my inspiration? And these people were my inspiration. So that connection was just incredible. And I want to share that with you for whatever purpose. I think I do have a purpose in mind, but I think it's up to you to decide what it is. But so proud of that, and so grateful for that gift that everybody gave me, which shows that we're able to be human, I think, and connect in a way that was certainly very uncommon in my experience. And we were able to actually replicate that connection when I went to London. So that's it for now. That's a story about me. It must be a slow news week, which is why I'm sharing this with you. But hey, with that, I hope you have a great day. And let me know if you have questions and if you like this type of video. If you don't, I won't ever do one like this again. But if it does help for you to learn a little bit more about me, that's the spirit with which I share it. Thanks, everybody. Take care.